Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host, our very good friend, is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Love Island UK Season 9, Episode 7, Chris. Now, where would you like to start today?
Well, Dave, I've got to say, well, we start with David, don't we? David eventually, he leaves now. We know he was going. We've had the weekend to digest that. I'm still in my head thinking, how many days are we ahead of are they ahead of us, sort of thing. But anyway, we go with that. I think I've got to be honest now, Dave. We've had a week and we've had a little bit of drama and it's building up to a little bit. But this is a very slow burn of a series. I'm finding it really difficult to connect with all these guys so far. I find that I'm invested and it's the same old Love Island, but I don't know. I'm really disconnected and watching. I really want to be in and be involved. And there's a couple of little things we'll talk about. Well, I'm sure we'll get 25 minutes to half an hour out of this chatting about it because we always do with our opinions. But I don't know. There's just something too polished about the contestants and I can't put my finger on it at the moment.
Yeah, it's quite a dull season, and I'm mindful of the email that we got about being jaded.
Yeah, I know. But,
me. I mean, I just don't think this has started off very well. And everyone is so aware of the cameras and that. And like I say, the fact that you've got a higher percentage of people who are looking to be influencers now, it just feels to me like it's so manufactured. I mean, right after David was leaving, he was talking about Harris doing a disingenuous wave.
Yeah.
And basically, you had Shaq and Tanya talking together, and they basically just sealed David's fate. He was off, and they're having some nice chat. But there was something that just jarred with me a little bit. So Shaq was, they're having some sweet talk and stuff, and then he sort of says about, we've got the rest of our lives, and then they both start laughing, and I thought, was that a genuine, nice, sort of sweet little moment? Because they both know they're far too early in the relationship for that. But there was something that just had me thinking, well, are they laughing at us almost? They know this is ridiculous. They know this is on Love Island and they're playing it all up. And they know the game. Jarred with me that they were kind of laughing at us there.
You know what? That's an interesting take. You could be right, Dave. You could be right. And it could be like, breaking that fourth wall down. We know that people think about this. We know last year Ekinsu did it with the guy who they didn't put in Castle Award eventually because he got leaked to the press.
Yeah.
So you honestly, you could be right. We know this stuff and we'll talk about Zara and Olivia later. But yeah, I'm with you. I think it probably is a bit of a nod to the audience. Like, we are all silly enough to buy into this shit. You know what I mean? And knowing that a lot of the contestants, we've never had this before. And I said at the start of doing this podcast that a lot of the contestants were online and we haven't seen any yet because we've only had David go out at the moment. We've not seen them go on these podcasts and reveal behind the scenes stuff, but loads of things was leaked last year, which I think it was good to understand how the show works because we know it's not just simply they just dick around all day and that's it. Because when the girls are sat there, like, as we say, fucking Grease, tell me more, the lads are there and all that shit, they are not sat there by accident. Will's not just sat there and Shaq comes over and the next minute all four of the other lads come and sit with him. It doesn't work like that. They're not positioned in the right shot. It's like when someone has a chat. If you were pissed off with me and we had a beef, you would just come over to me and go, Chris, I'm not happy about this, blah, blah, blah. You wouldn't say to me, can we just go and sit over there while we have a chat, please, Chris? You wouldn't do that, would you? You'd
be perfect camera position.
Yeah, the perfect camera position under the microphones. You would never do that in real life. Like Big Brother, whatever you think of Big Brother, people forget the cameras there. They all say it. And you do get some organic arguments, don't you? Disagreements. People, it doesn't matter where they are. These cameras ever, we know. But they don't get up and like, if you were calling me a bellend, you would never go, hang on, you bellend, let's just go over here because I want to have it. It just doesn't work like that, does it? So we know all that's been, the fourth wall stuff's been broken, really. Some of the mystique of the show. And also, I was really interested in it But the more I watch the contestants come out and using this platform, mainly just so they were like more relevant to the public, aren't they? And that it was like, how have they not signed NDAs with the production company? They may have done.
Yeah.
This year, they may have done, and they've gone, no, you're not allowed to know any shows while the show's running. You're not allowed. You might not be allowed to say anything for a year after the show. That's how they work. I cannot believe that they were all allowed to just basically ride roughshod on the show and slate it so much. It sort of ruined that for me. So I don't know if you feel the same, but it's interesting.
I don't know if it ruined it for me. It was a surprise last season when they all started coming out. And I kind of think, again, is this ITV almost changing its strategy? So they've gone from taking these no marks, these beautiful people, but they just happen to be on Instagram. So some of them apply, but we know that some of them are talent scouted, aren't they? And there's almost this two-way beneficial relationship now. I was saying about Will with his million Instagram followers. It's quite handy for ITV to have him on, to create more of a buzz. And I guess having people go out, talk on podcasts and stuff, it keeps the conversation going, doesn't it? And you would think the more mentions on social media, it's a good thing for ITV, I think. So I just think we're seeing the show evolve a little bit. But while we're exploring this lack of authenticity, Chris, you mentioned Olivia and Zara there, and fairly early on, right, we saw basically, and I want to come back to Ron as well, but Olivia and Ron were bitching about Zara, and it's like, hang about, just earlier in the night, continuity-wise, you were saying to Zara, you're gonna put all your investment, you're gonna go with Lana because of how she was being with Tom. But then Ron's quite happy to bitch to Olivia about Zara, about the games that she's playing. It's like, well, she's only been there 5 minutes. What games is she playing? And all these things that happen with Olivia and Zara, I mean, either Olivia is just fucking high maintenance, pain in the arse, utter bell end, but I don't believe that, Chris. I just believe this is fucking manufactured drama. We know from the comments, back and forth on Instagram, that they know at least of each other, if they don't know each other directly. This is manufactured drama to try and create a bit of drama to keep them relevant, to not have them boring, and it just creates that bite between the two of them. Chris, I don't believe any of that.
Well, Dave, you have stolen my thunder, my good friend, because I completely agree. I agree. I cannot disagree with that argument because it does seem so fake. Like, why are you getting so annoyed? Olivia's getting annoyed at Zara talking to Tom, picking Tom. She couldn't give a shit about Tom. Is it just because the fact that what she thought was, get very possessive, like what she thought was hers, it's sort of like, if I can't have him, nobody can have him sort of thing. I don't know, because Tom tried. I'm not saying, Tom's an angel or anything, but she said Harris is her type. She's with Harris, so she should be happy. Yeah. But she's really took umbrage. And also this thing about her being two-faced, Dave. Now, if it's all made up, that is the perfect way to fucking start a feud, done it? You're two-faced, because she's not letting that go. And if it isn't fake, fucking hell, she bears a grudge, holds a grudge a lot. But I'm with you. I can't take to Olivia, and I don't think Zara's done anything. We see a VT of tomorrow's episode. It looks like it's going to kick off again. But I'll just be watching to see, am I invested in that? Because I think you've hit the nail on the head with it there. And I think a few people have said that online as well. Yeah.
I mean, I am 50-50. I want to believe this drama. And, we get at the end. Because there were a few little things, like you say, the whole thing with Tom, it seemed like Olivia, oh yeah, it's great, happy to be coupled up with Harris, and Harris is keeping his cards close to his chest and whatever. But then she's got the fucking hump about this comment about, what was it that Tom said? About really being invested in the relationship or something like that. And she was like, oh, well, I can't help but feel that was aimed at me. And I'm thinking, okay, if I do take that at face value, then you are just an utter bellend. Not everything is about you. And I'd said it yesterday, so I'm not just repeating what Zara says in the preview for tomorrow, but fucking get over yourself. You know what I mean? Like you say, she fucking, not everything is about you, but she's just acting like a bellend, but I just can't believe it. So I do kind of hope that as things go on, we start to see, and you start to see clues, and you think, oh no, that's not part of a tactic, or else they wouldn't have acted in this way. But it just feels so manufactured to me right now.
Yeah, I think you're right, Dave. And talking about manufactured, Dave, what a segue in, my friend. We get the 2 Aussie bombshells. Well, I've called out Will. He's a bit of a tryhard and everything. However, I give him credit because the first thing he said, and I was sat there, Dave, I was sat there with my fucking big magnifying glass. I've got my earphones on, listening to it, thinking, right, if any of these fuckers turn round and go, oh, that's Jesse and fucking Aaron from Love Island, Australia. I was out. I was the guy who jumps out the window meme, the fucking bloke in the meeting room, and he just jumps out. And I'm there, we were talking on Discord, weren't we, with everyone, and I'm like, if they say that, because like when Adam Collard come in, I still don't believe it. I know he was a baddie and everything, and then someone, and if you're a super fan, you probably know he is, but that was a bit of a stretch. I still didn't buy it, but I could understand it. UK, he's a baddie. They may have seen him in the press leading up to it. Straight away, it's Adam Collard. No problem. I'll buy it. I'll go along with it. But no one, to be fair, no one said it, but I was like, I'm fucking grinding my teeth. But when they come in, Aaron and Jesse, and they're like meeting everyone and they're chatting, so Jesse takes the guys off, Aaron takes the girls off, and I'm just like, fuck off. Someone had said on our Discord, and they're right, like, I'm not buying into this because are they going to move to the UK? We talked about in the last show. And Will, to be fair, actually questioned her straight away, didn't he? And said, like, she's like, well, yeah, I would travel if I fell in love. And I'm like, fuck off. Yeah. You are not there for anything more than Instagram. And our great friend Derek on Facebook has put their Instagram followers. And I think Jesse's at about 70,000 or something, Dave. You watch that go to where she wants it to go. And if she's successful, she's going to have this mini career in the UK. And I don't know whether Aaron will, because I remember him now. I didn't really take to him the first time round, but Jesse was quite a likeable character, even if she got shafted literally by Owen. But so, Dave, she's going to make a killing on this show if she does it all right, as the right PR company. But what a waste of our fucking time bringing them over into the show.
Well, I don't know. It's either them or some other no mark off Instagram, isn't it? So but, why do you have a problem with them and not all the others?
They come from Australia. It's like, why? You don't live here. Like on the US one and the Australian one, we had English people in there. We had the Welsh lads, sorry, not English people. We had the Welsh lad in, didn't we? Callum. He lived in Australia. We had an English girl at the start of that series. She got voted off, but she lived in Australia. In the American one was the girl who actually won the American one was English, one of the couples. So if they live there, I can buy it, but not the fact they flew him in on a fucking first class plane and gone, there you go, see what you can do. And they're not even, for me, they're not even Love Island alumni. It's not like it's Grant Crap or some of the other people who are like really popular.
Oh, could you imagine if like Grant Crap and was it Cassidy? One who picked him?
Taylor. Oh, Taylor, Cassidy.
They were the couple. But Cassidy was the one who picked him just purely out of spite. I mean, you want some royalty like that don't you? But yeah, these were, again, I don't really remember that much about Aaron, but, he seems to have come in. He seems to have a bit of a chip on his shoulder for me. I don't quite get it. Again, you talk about the setup way of shooting the camera. So when he's sat there with the fucking bottle right in front of his cock, basically, and you've got equal number of girls to the left, equal number of girls to the right. It's like, that looks like such an awkward place to have a conversation. But obviously, when you're filming it, it looks quite good. But it just seems strange there. So yeah, I agree. I mean, purely about exposure, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, can any of the others really say that that's what they're not there for? These are. It's just more obvious because They've had to fly over. They've got no intention of staying over here. They just know the UK season is the biggest Love Island there is. So if you get onto this Love Island, you will get more Instagram followers. So like you say, if they stay in for a few weeks or more, you'll see that grow. And so, yeah, job done. I think. but I agree with you. Getting back to your original point, it was good that Will. I mean, he is a smart cookie, to be fair. I don't think he's particularly good with the ladies, but he is kind of, he's got a brain up there. So, he was calling it out straight away, like you say.
Yeah, and to be fair, Dave, as we've said about Will, I think I'm sort of warming to him a little bit, Dave, because he's just not offensive, is he? He says all these quirky things. He's trying to be funny. He's having a joke. Jessie and him had a bit of a connection. And I think she's probably his type because she was quite quirky, wasn't she? And very outgoing. She's like a Butlins buddy, rep like he is, someone who should be a children's entertainer or someone like, that really sort of over the top approach to people and just so happy and nice. And I think she could be, she could be right for him. And it seemed, I was quite sweet on that chat at the end. I thought, you know what? Fair play to him. You know what I mean? It looked like they actually had something about him. So I'm sort of turning a little bit on Will Day because I did call him out a bit the first week. I think unfortunately he's the best of a bad bunch at the moment.
Yeah. It's like, is he a complete arsehole? Not really. So he becomes the best one. I was saying last week, so towards the back end of last week, I was kind of warming to him a little bit as well. I still think he should really be gone, any time now. Because even with Jessie, I don't think there'll be anything there. I think she's got to get to know everyone, but I don't think they'll end up together. But I think because of his million Instagram followers, I think the producers will work very hard to make sure he stays in the villa. So, yeah. I mean, let's see.
Well, Dave, I've got a bit of a bone to pick as well with one of the most hated words I hear all the time on these reality shows.
Bants?
Bants gets on me fucking nerves anyway. It's like me fucking tits that. But no, Dave, when Ron was talking about she's my type on paper. Now, what fucking paper? Fucking toilet paper? What sort of paper? That is one of the worst. I mean, I've never sat there and gone, you know what, Dave? My type is, and wrote it down because you just be a narcissistical fucking egomaniac. And I don't think anybody, whoever you get with, is whoever you get with. You may have a type that you're attracted to, but it doesn't always mean you end up with that type, does it, Dave? If you love that person, it doesn't matter as long as, you're happy and everything. And I know I'm thinking, as a 44-year-old middle-aged man now, Dave, which I hate saying I'm middle-aged, but obviously I am now because I'm going to live until at least, well, no, not actually, Dave. I'm a third of the way through because I'm going to live till 130, I think, at least. So I'm probably not middle-aged. So I'm still a youth in my eyes.
In your prime.
In my prime, yeah, in my prime. The aches and pains say otherwise, but I'm in my prime. But yeah, it just pisses me off. That is like bingo bonanza, isn't it? You get your bingo card. It's my type on paper. I don't know. It's not as said like it was in a few series ago. Everyone was saying, my type on paper, my type. But as soon as I said it, I was like, oh, fucking toast curling, cringy as fuck, that Ron. And then,
yeah,
I don't know, Dave. There's something about Ron at the moment. I'm not feeling him, I've got to say.
No, I said last week, didn't I? Day one, I thought, he seems like a decent enough guy and seemed to really go all in for Lana. But then you can see, with anyone, his head's turned it almost instantly. As soon as someone new walks in, that's it, his head's turned. And so his actions and what he says are two different things. And I was saying about Olivia being a game player, and actually I think Zara is in on it, but she just, because she's on the receiving end, she doesn't come across that like she is playing the game as such, if that makes sense. But she's definitely in on it. Fucking Ron is as well. 100%. Yeah. I kept saying he's very aware that the cameras are there. He's sort of having the conversation with the person and the camera at the same time. And yeah, some of the things he says, like say, bitching about Zara to Olivia, I thought was weird. But then as soon as Jesse's in, he's like, oh, my head's mush. And you're like, it's like, hang about, what is it? And then when he's having the chat to the boys, he's saying about, oh, yeah, I'm just trying to be open and honest and all this stuff. And it's like, so which one is it? No one's saying you have to couple up in that first week. But I think what we're seeing, Chris, is this evolution of the gameplay and tactics that are coming into it. If you don't couple up early and not exactly declare your love, but if you don't couple up early and make your feelings known, make someone feel really special, when it comes to a vote, you could end up booted out.
Yeah.
So there's no point having a long-term game plan if you can't stay in for the first couple of weeks, let's say. And out of all of the boys, I think Ron is the biggest game player out of the lot.
Yeah, I'm with you, Dave. I thought Harris might have been that, but I think Ron, he's just off, isn't he? Like you say, his chat and stuff. Maybe he's a bit too honest. I don't know, but you never, when he wasn't honest, though, because you go off like what he said about Lana, and he's saying like how much he was into her and blah blah blah, and then obviously Ron's with Danielle now. I know it wasn't his pick, but he's just blagged it all the time. And like we always say, it's like that nice new shiny toy appears, and he's like, oh my gosh, and he's allowed to get to know her. There's no problem. That's Love Island. But when you don't go on record saying how you're such a loyal guy and you're going to do this, this, and this,
that's the problem, isn't it?
That's the issue. It's everyone can be attracted. You might think you're steady in these things, not really in real relationships, and then an absolute world class, world. I'm going to say worldly. That sounds even worse. Fucking how old am I, Dave? That sounds terrible. But someone who they are attracted to, men or women, whoever they're attracted to, comes in and they're like, oh my God, I need to get to know that person. There's nothing wrong with that. That's Love Island. But when you put the fucking, the stick in the sand, that's it. You fuck then. You're just going to become a hypocrite and become a bit of a baddie. So sometimes keep your mouth shut and just let the game, play out sort of thing. So yeah, you might learn that as it goes on, Dave. We've seen this so many times with people, haven't we, in Love Island? But at the moment, I'm with you. I'm just not feeling him.
Yeah, again, I don't quite know exactly what the game is, but I'm just wondering, is he saying the stuff about Jesse? Because we know, with the benefit of all the previous seasons, we know that the contestants, they have to keep themselves interesting as well. You can't do a Jake and basically couple up on day one and then, basically be boring and try and manipulate everyone else into cheating. That's not going to work. So people have to, I think they feel like the audience has to feel like the relationship is under a bit of pressure and, they might not get together, so that when they get back together, we're like, oh yeah, I mean, look at the previous winners, and we were talking about the Australian one. What was the couple that came back in? Mitch and Tina, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they had your classic kind of love triangle thing, and then it's will they, won't they, and then they got back together, ended up winning.
Yeah.
And then they came back in the following season and tried to do the fucking same again. Will they, won't they? But they ended up getting booted out. So I think it's people just getting a bit more sophisticated with the game playing now.
Yeah, I think so. I agree, Dave. I agree. So have you got anything else, Dave, before we wrap this one up?
No, I think we've done well to stretch this out for like 20 odd minutes. I was going through it and I was thinking, crikey, this is hard going, to be honest. So, and it was right at the end, wasn't it, where there's a little bit of a preview for tomorrow, and it does look tasty, but it is tainted a little bit with just that doubt that it's all manufactured. But let's see.
No, I'm with you, Dave. I'm with you. A massive thank you to everyone who supported us, guys. Please get over to Facebook. We're almost at 400 friends over there. Chris and Dave's Reality TV cast, and get your thing to join, and we'll approve you and everything. I really appreciate everyone. How the hell we're up to that many, I do not know. But thank you for everyone, and a great community on there. Everyone's so nice to each other. I have loads of chat, loads of insider stuff, and loads of links for the episodes if you're outside the UK as well. So really, if you like that sort of thing, please get over there, guys. If you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media, @cdrealitycast. If you do want to support us a little bit more, get us to patreon.com/cdrealitycast. So today's roll call of honour is Cassie, Megan, Kate, Annabeth, Maggie, Kristen, Zoe, Gillian, Michelle, Keith, Helen, Brianna, Joanna, Libby, Katie, Dee, Priscilla, Susan, Hennessy, Tracy, Lauren, Lucky Luna Green, and Kent Gustafson. So thank you so much, guys. We live to podcast another day, my friend.
Yay.
No, now.
I'm just joking. But come on, let's have some drama tomorrow. We need it. I've seen a few people actually say, Chris, about the whole winter Love Island, the fact that we're all sat here freezing our balls off. It's just, when it's summer and you're watching Love Island, it feels different, because you're quite warm yourself and, just coming off the back of Christmas. So, winter Love Island is not my favourite, but let's hope we get a bit more drama, manufactured or not.
Yeah, I'm with you, Dave. I've had too many fucking celebrations and heroes over Christmas. I'm currently drinking 2-litre bottles of water, trying to get myself into some sort of shape for the summer. So in the summer, I agree. At the moment, I look like a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. So it's not nice watching all these people parade round at 100 degrees, Dave. We're there freezing our fucking balls off. But there you go. That's the UK winter for you. But I'm with you. I think the summer would have been enough more than anything. I don't think this will have much legs after this series. And apparently the viewership's down as well.
Yeah. That's not a surprise. But we'll always be here, Chris.
We will.
Right
we will.
to the end.
We will.
Right to when they're jumping the shark. And since they're in South Africa, I wouldn't mind seeing some shark jump in. But thank you very much, sir. And thanks to all of our listeners and supporters out there. And we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.